It's time, Michael.
Michael!
Well, we're talking about 80s classics. I mean, we gotta talk about Michael. We gotta talk about Michael Myers.
Let's see what you got.
So, of course, here is the first Halloween. Just pop them over here for a second. You can get a look at the box. And I also have this movie in a VHS clamshell, which is pretty neat. This is even unusual for the time, even for a grandpa like myself. These were not typical. I didn't have a lot of movies, but I didn't have any movies in a clamshell like this. One of my friends gave me this, actually. He had moved on to DVD, and he's like, do you want this? And I was like, oh God, yes. And I just something I just love. I just think it's just neat looking. Pop this out of here real quick. I know none of this stuff is part of a set, but when the hell else am I going to be talking about, you know, VHS cassette? Looks like I started watching this, had to stop and didn't finish, but yeah, you know, VHS cassette. It's kind of fun. You know, at some point this is all going to turn into dust anyway, but probably not this plastic clamshell. These plastic, you know, just kind of hangs in there forever. But anyway, the other thing about horror movies are the sets, right? Like the first Halloween is really, you know, where the money's at, and the other Halloween movies are like, well, how can we monetize these? And as you can see, and as you will continue to see as we continue on, is that the answer is these 2-disc sets. They can sell them cheaply, but you know, it's not something anybody particularly wants. But what can you say? Obviously, the first Halloween kind of speaks for itself. There are things that happen in that movie. Not entirely sure why they happened, but you know, it's a time, it's a place, it's a tone. Halloween's the original, and I think Halloween 2 is also a lot of fun. I also think there's some neat stuff in there. Halloween 3 is interesting. You don't see a lot of horror franchises trying to do something like Halloween 3. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is an attempt to take the series into an anthology direction, which they just did this one time and never did again because everybody hated it. Everybody went and saw the movie and they're like, where's Michael Myers?
Whenever Poochie's not on screen, all the other characters should be asking, where's Poochie?
Obviously, that did not work for the audience, but I mean, I think Halloween 3's got some cool ideas. Maybe the execution isn't always awesome. You know, you got your awkward love scenes, but you know, you got those masks that make people's face melts, and you know, creepy commercial. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. I think the soundtrack kind of rocks. I enjoy I personally enjoy a good 80s synthesizer soundtrack, so I think it's worth a look. Here we are again with another double feature, Halloween 4 and 5. Now we're starting to wander around in the wilderness here. Ah, God, which one is which? I didn't have time to like rewatch everything on this table for this video, so I'm just mostly going off memory. I have watched these movies all in like the last 5 or 6 years. I gotta tell you, like once you get past Halloween 3, once you get to Halloween 4, to me, like they all kind of start blending together. At some point, Paul Rudd shows up. Is that Halloween 5?
He's yours.
I don't know. If you thought just doing a double feature for Halloween 2 and 3 and then 4 and 5 was crass, you're gonna love this. It's like they stopped with the numbers and they started with the greed. This set has Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection, and The Curse of Michael Myers. Yes, all in this lovely 3-film set. Yep, just kind of labelless, double-sided discs, I think. Yeah, got one double-sided disc with, you know, 2 movies on one side and 1 on the other. Just, I think maybe Busta Rhymes is in one of these movies and he like karate kicks Michael Myers.
Let's see what you got.
They're doing like a Big Brother sort of haunted house thing, and it's just clearly not the house from the first movie. It's just like a really small house. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not a Halloween guy. I think the first 3 are enjoyable movies. After that, you know, like I'm just basically watching it anytime like Dr. Loomis or something wacky pops out. I like a good Paul Rudd cameo, or I guess he's in the whole movie. What's the difference? Who cares? I didn't see the 2 remakes by Rob Zombie. I guess that one is a direct sequel to the first one. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop up the Halloween movie charts. You can try to understand how all this goes if you don't know. And hopefully, look, it's confusing, and it's way more confusing than it has any right to be. It's this stalking voiceless killer, and they just kind of changed it into a curse. So they just do whatever they want, and you know, this sequel goes sideways to the left, right, like anywhere but forward, but like sort of forward, but then they like turn around and go back and start over. It's not for me. It's not for me. I'd rather watch Friday the 13th. Yeah, it's the same idea, and sure, this came first, but Friday the 13th, I feel like we're just trying to have a good time. You know, we're just trying to watch a movie and enjoy ourselves. These Halloween movies, the Halloween franchise, takes itself very seriously, and it's a little too serious for my taste personally. But again, first three, really enjoy the first three. After that, I say, cut it off.